Welcome to Benjamin Franklin High School. We are so proud and excited to host this amazing launch event with you today. We are so pleased to really partner with Super Schools Meals. This is extremely important and critical. As a state, we look to tackle youth hunger. Before we start off this great event, we want to tell you a little bit about our amazing school. But we need some of your help. When I say a number, I want you to yell and scream, "Who dat?" Let's test it out. 13. Who dat? Now, we have the Cam Jordan in the building, so we have to say it from our chest. When I say a number, be ready to scream, "Who dat?" 14. Of our 1,000 plus amazing students here at Franklin, we have 14 national semi-merit finalists. Let's give it up. "103rd. Not only is Benjamin Franklin High School the #1 school in the city, we often rank one of the top performing high schools in the state, #3rd, and 103rd in the country. Let's go. Who dat? 1,399. Of the 1,399 students that we had to take an AP exam last year, 90% of them scored a 3 or above on their AP exam. The last number, 1. We are very proud of the one partner that we have with Super Schools Meals to partner with this great work. To tell you more about Super Schools Meals, please join me in welcoming Gen Youth's CEO, Anne Marie Kratheim, whose organization has brought us all together on this mission to make a difference in the health and well-being of our students.
Thank you, Dr. Mack. And thanks to all of you here at Benjamin Franklin High School. We are so thrilled to be with you this morning to celebrate this very special occasion. We are launching today Super School Meals, and this is an initiative that Gen Youth does on the road to the Super Bowl each year. And what we're going to be doing through this initiative is make sure that no kid goes hungry and all students have equitable access to healthy school meals as they start the day to fuel their mind and body. Gen Youth is a national nonprofit. We were founded by America's Dairy Farmers and the National Football League. And as part of our work, we ultimately will be culminating with an event at the Super Bowl called the Taste of the NFL. It happens the day before the Super Bowl. And proceeds raised are going to help to support equipment like you see here, the grab-and-go school breakfast equipment, the flag football kits. How many flag football fans do I have out there? All right, I see a lot of hands. That's fantastic. And how many of you ate breakfast this morning? Okay, I see a few hands, and hopefully with the addition of this grab-and-go meal equipment, you can come into school and literally grab and go. Gen Youth's mission is to help to ensure that students like yourselves thrive by living well-nourished and physically active lives. We know when you eat breakfast, you feel better, you have better nourishment, and you perform better academically. You get such good grades, as I heard from Dr. Mack. We know that kids who eat breakfast do better in math and reading in particular. So that's really why we're here, is to help make sure that you're nourished, both mind and body, and ready for the school day. I want to give special thanks to many partners who are in the room today, because without their support, we would not be able to provide the grab-and-go equipment here at Benjamin Franklin. And we're actually committed to bring the equipment to 59 schools across the state of Louisiana. But I'll tell you, because of the great support we have from the partners here today, we are likely going to double that number. So just, I'm going to call them each out because they're all very important, but I want to thank in particular the New Orleans Super Bowl Host Committee and their partner Entergy. We have Frito-Lay, Quaker, and PepsiCo Foundation, Amazon Access, Domino's Pizza, Dairy Max, as well as the Pennington Biomedical Research Center. So again, let's give them a round of applause. Their generosity is going to make sure that thousands of children have access to millions of meals starting today and really leaving a legacy long after the Super Bowl. I also want to recognize a couple community leaders are here. We have Marcus Brown, who is the chair of the Super Bowl host committee. So Marcus, if you could stand to be recognized. He's also with Entergy. And then we also have Gabrielle, who is actually on our National Youth Council. Gabrielle, if you could stand to be recognized. And Gabriel, as a National Youth Council member, is committed to helping to support his school community to ensure that his peers are well-nourished and physically active. This is our 9th year in doing Super School Meals, and the trajectory is it gets bigger and better every year. And so we're thrilled to, again, as I said, culminate with the Taste of the NFL, which is the largest philanthropic event at Super Bowl. It'll be held on February 8th at the World War II Museum. We'll have 30 phenomenal local chefs, 30 amazing NFL greats and legends. And 2 of our national chefs are with us today, so I want to recognize them. They travel to every Super Bowl market with us. We have Chef Mark Bucher from Medium Rare, right here. And Chef Lashida Perry, otherwise known as the Queen of Flavor. So thank you. Thank you for being with us today. So thanks again to New Orleans Public Schools. I want to again thank you for your hospitality. We're thrilled to be here. And I want to turn the program over to the superintendent, Dr. Avis Williams. Dr. Williams?
Thank you so much. It is such a pleasure to be here. I am Dr. Avis Williams, the proud superintendent for NOLA Public Schools. And on behalf of all of NOLA Public Schools, as well as the Orleans Parish School Board, I bring you greetings and thanks, a word of thanks. You know, in education, we oftentimes talk about educating the whole child. And from that standpoint, we of course mean that academics are important, and that's the core of our work, is to ensure that we're improving academic outcomes for our scholars. But when we think about the whole child, what does that mean in terms of wellness? What does it mean in terms of our babies being able to bring their whole selves into a classroom ready to learn? Well, without proper nutrition, this is not possible. And the thing I love about this partnership and the number of sponsors that we have is that it's really leaning in to a challenge that we know we have within our community, food insecurity. And it's given us a real-time, easy to access solution for that problem, right? I mean, simple. Grab a snack, right? Making sure that scholars not only can have a healthy breakfast, a healthy lunch, but also a healthy snack with no judgment, and keeping them ready to learn in the classroom. And that's so important, and it's so vital. You know, I think back during my days when I was a teacher and an administrator, and knowing that I had scholars who didn't eat the night before, knowing that I had so many scholars whose only high-quality meals were gained at school. And so even though our breakfast and lunch is amazing, we know that these are growing kids and they have appetites. For the parents out there, you know what I'm talking about. They can eat, right? And we want to ensure that they're able to do that in such a way that they are healthy. And so I'm proud that we're able to collaborate with Gen Youth, with the New Orleans Super Bowl host committee, Dairy Max, and many of the corporate sponsors who made today possible. And those include Frito-Lay of North America, Quaker Oats Company, PepsiCo Foundation, Amazon Access, Domino's Smart Suite, and Entergy. Together, we can impact our scholars, and we can ensure that when we say we're educating the whole child, we really mean it, because we're pouring into them from a health standpoint to ensure that they're able to learn and develop and to grow at school. It's all of our responsibility to ensure that our scholars are able to do that. And for our young people out there, it's so good to see your faces. I thank you for being here. I know you're attending school every day. Our theme for attendance is Attend Today, Achieve Tomorrow, and I appreciate you all for doing that. And also to our scholars, I want you to know that I see you, I hear you, and I love you. Thank you.
And Dr. Williams wins the prize for the coolest shoes. So I need to know where you got those before we're done. So thank you, Dr. Williams. So today, again, we're here to celebrate school meals. Research shows that school meals are the healthiest meal that kids are eating, even compared to eating at home. So we want to make sure that we're helping to create equitable access so kids can start their day with a healthy breakfast, continue with a healthy lunch, and I know for many of you, you even benefit from after-school snacks and even weekend programs. So that's what today's all about. And I want to invite a special individual to join me. We have with us from Washington, D.C., the United States Department of Agriculture, Senior Policy Advisor with the Food and Nutrition Services. They oversee all the school nutrition programs in the United States. So I'd like you to help me welcome Sakina Shabazz.
Hi everyone, how are you all today? Thank you so much. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you, Anne-Marie. My name is Sakina Shabazz. I'm a Senior Policy Advisor with the USDA Food and Nutrition Service, and it is a real pleasure to be with you all here today. Thank you, Gen Youth, for convening us for the Super School Meals Kickoff Celebration. The work you all are doing to tackle food insecurity in Louisiana by improving access to healthy school meals is certainly worth celebrating. We know that healthy school meals are an essential part of the school environment, just like teachers, our books, our computers, and other supplies. These meals are an investment in you all's futures, and your investments in time and resources and purpose-driven efforts are a touchdown for school nutrition. I also want to thank and honor Benjamin Franklin High School, New Orleans Public Schools, and all other state and local partners in the room for your commitment to helping kids thrive. Thank you to the folks at the leadership level and to our school nutrition professionals, especially that work every day in our schools to ensure that kids are eating healthy, delicious meals. You all are really the MVPs of school nutrition. Can we give them a round of applause? You all know firsthand how extra resources, like what we're seeing here today, can really be a game changer for school meals. And speaking of game-changing efforts, the Biden-Harris administration has also made historic investments in children's health and well-being through the USDA school meal programs. Since 2021, we've invested close to $13.2 billion in extra support towards school meals. We're so proud of the progress that's been made, and we know that with our kids' health in mind, there is always much more that we can do. And that's why we're working closely with all of you and our school meal partners to reduce added sugar, to scale back sodium, and to emphasize more fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and high-quality proteins in our school meals. We're also providing schools extra flexibilities to accommodate vegetarian diets and students' cultural and religious preferences into our school meal program. We've made it easier for schools to acquire fresh local foods through our Local Food for Schools cooperative agreements, our USDA Farm to School grants, and also the use of geographic preference. These strategies all help to empower schools to serve high-quality, nutritious meals to you all. And it's equally important to ensure that you all can access the food being served. In fact, providing healthy school meals for all at USDA is one of our chief mission areas and priorities through the White House National Strategy on Hunger, Nutrition, and Health. We're so encouraged by the states that have made permanent efforts to provide school meals at no cost to the students that they serve. And in other states as well, where there might be higher need, the use of the Community Eligibility Provision, or CEP, is also a crucial point to providing school meals at no cost. I also want to thank and applaud Louisiana for implementing the Sunbucks program, also known as Summer EBT, this past summer, which is helping to close the summer hunger gap for students who miss out on healthy school meals because school is out. This was an incredible feat on behalf of state and local partners, and an equally incredible support for kids and their families. These are just a few of the many efforts going on across the nation to help our school meal programs and to help our kids be the best versions of themselves. And I know we'll continue to move forward in pursuit of that goal together. I ask that today and every day you join us at USDA in celebrating our collective efforts to make schools more accessible, more nutritious and delicious, and more reflective of the local communities that they're in. You can uplift some of this work on social media. You can follow us at USDA Nutrition on X, formerly known as Twitter, as well as amplifying our work across your networks. In closing, I want to express my gratitude for all that you all are doing through Super School Meals and more to set kids up to win inside and outside of the classroom. It's timely that this kickoff comes shortly after National School Lunch Week, which we spent a lot of time celebrating at USDA, because you all are taking significant actions to improve school meals and child nutrition overall. And with that, I also want to highlight a really important data point that came out from USDA recently. In 2023, 18% of households with children were food insecure. And we know that there's a lot more work that we can do to support this, and school meals is an important part of that. What you're doing truly matters, and I want you all to know that the USDA will continue to support and champion your work. Thank you all again, and I look forward to continuing our celebrations today. Anne-Marie?
I now will introduce you actually to someone who probably needs no introduction here at Franklin. I would like to invite Bethany, who is a senior and the president of the Student Council, to join me. And she's going to facilitate our discussion with three very special guests. I'd like to share that for Gen Youth, the voice of students is critically important. As I mentioned, we have a National Youth Council where we listen to kids, they give us feedback, we hear where they're seeing challenges and opportunities and solutions that will work in their school. And students tell us if it's about us, don't do it without us. So we wanted to make sure to give Bethany a role in today's program as a student leader, and I think you'll enjoy the discussion with the guests that she's going to introduce. Bethany.
Hello everyone, I have the pleasure to introduce you to our amazing panelists, some special guests, and to learn a little bit more about them. This man needs no introduction, Mr. Cam Jordan, defensive end of our Saints team. Miss Nancy Dalton, head of the Community Experience and Customer Marketing, Amazon Access. And last but not least, Mr. Jay Cicero, President, New Orleans Super Bowl Host Committee. So first, I have a question for you, Mr. Jordan. Why do you recommend that we as students should care about nutrition?
You might need to share your mic. There you go.
Oh, I'm gonna get loud. All right, cool. So the question was, why is breakfast important, pretty much?
Yeah, why do we care? Why should
you care? I mean, for me, I'm a foodie, so the first thing I think about when I wake up is what am I having? You know, whether it be an egg frittata in the morning, or it be like an omelet, like my oldest son loves. He needs like a cheesy egg omelet for whatever reason to start his morning off right. My daughters love their pancakes and Greek yogurt. But the importance of breakfast, you know, growing up, mother would always say like breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But for me, I'm a really riser. I wake up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, actually don't need an alarm, I'm a lunatic. But as I'm waking up, I'm always hungry. I'm like, all right, well, I gotta work out today. I gotta run today. I gotta look after the kids. Gotta make sure, the wife isn't mad at me for something I didn't do because I probably didn't do the dishes last night. You gotta have energy for a nice little, morning get together. And with that being said, breakfast is the best way to fuel yourself up. I mean, if I'm gonna take the work, be serious about my job, and be the best athlete I can be the best dad I can be the best community member I can be, you don't want to be hangry. You don't want to be walking around and just kicking out the life because you ain't got nothing on your stomach. Like, there's so many different walks in life, so many different ways that you can affect your energy. Don't let breakfast be one of them. Let that be a boost and not something that holds you back.
Thank you. So, Ms. Dalton, I have a question for you now. Tell us about Amazon Access's commitment to super school meals and equitable access.
Absolutely. So the question is to tell you about our commitment, Amazon Access's commitment to healthy, affordable, nutritious food for our students. And I don't think there's anything more important than that. What I would say is that it's so critical for us to all understand that children who are hungry are not in the best position to learn in the classroom. And so that's number one, why we think this is incredibly important. The other thing is that access to food at school is such a vital component of serving a whole student and a whole child, and even the family. And so we are elated to be able to partner with Young Youth, who has been on the forefront of this for so many years, and has, because of the school meal equipment, been able to serve over 6 billion meals to students. So let's give it up for that. That is incredibly remarkable and such an indelible mark in the lives of students. I would say that it is also really important that we think about how access in and of itself changes things. And the equipment makes sure that it is graphical, that we meet students where you are. But what is even more critical is that as we continue to evolve all of the programs that we are launching as part of Super School Meals, that we involve the students. Because your voice must be equal and at the table and be a guiding force in how we do this. And because of you, to your point, we can't build things for you without equally including you. So we are just so excited to be a part of this, and we look forward to continuing to commit in this space, which is so important. We will end student hunger if we do this together.
Thank you. Mr. Cicero, what is the impact of the host committee, that the host committee wants to make for our community?
Well, before I start, my daughter graduated from Franklin here in 2017. She had a wonderful experience. So all the teachers who were here back 2014, 15, 16, 17, she was here. Thank you. I hope she was a good student as she hoped she was. I also want to thank him for serving as one of our community champions for the host committee and being involved in things like this. You have to spend a lot of time with him. You can see what an incredible person he is and a leader he is, not only for the Saints but our community. What impact of the host committee? It's important to know what a host committee is. The host committee is the local group that bids on and manages the Super Bowl along with the New Orleans Saints for every Super Bowl held in the city. And so this is our record time 11 in New Orleans. And this will be the 4th time that our organization, the Regional Sports Foundation, served as the host committee staff. We have a group of volunteers that are involved with it, led by Marcus Brown, our chair from Entergy, the chair of the Super Bowl host committee, and a lot of other committees, a lot of other people. We have over 7,000 volunteers signed up for the volunteer that we go through our ambassador program that's sponsored by Chevron for the week of the game. So what impact? There's economic impact, which is extremely high. There's over $450 million in 2013, last time that we hosted the Super Bowl. It's a very large number. If you talk about the community impact, one is being a volunteer. Others are serving as community champions. We're also giving away $3.5 million in grants led by Entergy and a committee of folks and sponsors and New Orleans Saints involved with that also to in the community to nonprofits in the 10th parish area. The NFL is obviously involved in it too. So there's the economic impact as well as the community impact. We want it to be an all-time high. I'd say this is our 4th Super Bowl. I've never seen the type of excitement, the level of excitement, the growth of the game, what it means to a city and state than I have in the last 12 months.
Y'all complete the mic for this last one. I know me personally, as a student who eats school lunch, uses it to get me throughout the day, and the impact that it just had on me. But how, what role did school lunch play in your lives?
I mean, you don't get this big without eating. So for me, high school, we can take it back to high school.
We could go to high school. I'm 17.
All right, so just in general, right?
Okay.
Let's start as a professional athlete. We normally eat lunch at like 2-ish, right after we get out for practice, right? That's a late lunch. You've been practicing for 2.5 to 3 hours. Prior to that, you were in meetings for 2.5 to 3 hours. And literally the first thing you do is like, all right, I have to refuel my body. I've given everything that I could. Mentally, physically, I have to replenish the system. And younger me was like, all right, I'm ordering, I'm getting a pizza, I'm whatever, I'm vegging out. The smarter older me now has milk. Now I'm already predicated on what am I going to do to get my body right, what foods am I eating, whether that's, whether that's the chicken, whatever I'm having, the pasta. I love good chicken Alfredo, I wouldn't say pasta's high on my list, but a solid chicken Alfredo can get me from time to time. But just because of that, it's the first thing you have, so it has to be something nutritious. If all you're doing is snacking and on gummies, fruit snacks, candy, I got a major sweet tooth, so I love candy. But I chilled out on that as I got older. Because you realize food can help you focus, food can fuel you, and you can live through your food and do the things that you want to do. So whether you eat, a nice cheeseburger, don't let it be like a greedy cheeseburger. You're going to feel the after effects. It's like running through, Taco Bell at the end of the day, and 20 minutes later you know where you're headed, but either way, the foods that go through you help push you to be a better you. So use that to your advantage.
Ms. Dalton.
Absolutely. For me, growing up, I grew up benefiting from a lot of the federal nutrition service programs that Sakina talked about. And so, for me, my family relied upon the food provided at school for us to actually be able to eat as kids. And so I took advantage of the breakfast in the morning when I would get to school, and then also the lunch. I was an athlete, not football, but I was a track athlete, and going into practice after school was something that I felt I was much better prepared to do and to excel because I had eaten breakfast and lunch. And so those were critical meals for me to ensure that I was my best. Not just on the track, but also in the classroom. And really being able to focus to Cam's point. I feel like these two meals were just incredibly important. And quite frankly, I wouldn't be able to have them if I wasn't at school. Finally, I would say learning about what is nutritious and what is healthy, I think I learned a lot about in school. And I've tried to emulate for my kids as well. And so I think it is good for your mind, your body, and your spirit. And you should not, miss a meal, because if you do, you're not going to be at your best.
My story is a little bit more unique. My father was a teacher and a coach for 45 years at the high school that I attended. So I knew that the head of our meals there for a number of years, we would actually bring home leftovers for us to eat in the evenings after we finished coaching. So extremely important part of, I'm not older than both of you, but it's an extremely important part of growing up and being part of that atmosphere and smelling the food you got to school and what you're going to have for lunch and how important that was to our day there. But extremely important part of growing up and being a part of high school, college, and then learning as you get out of college to take care of yourself. There's no place to go that is so convenient for food all the time and provided. So you have to really make sure that you think about what you're putting in your body in order to be able to survive the workday. Cam's workday is a lot harder than all of us, but the workday in the business community, there's a lot of meetings, a lot of events like this, a lot of work being put in, and you have to remain focused in order to lead a team of people that are focused on February 8th, 9th, your event on February 8th, February 9th, Super Bowl at the Superdome. So having to be your sharpest is extremely important. I'm sure all of you feel that here. If you don't eat a proper breakfast or a proper lunch, how tough is it to get through your school day? But hopefully you realize that you're taking advantage of the opportunity to come with this. And I really appreciate, Jim, what you're doing here, not only in New Orleans, but in the whole state of Louisiana. Definitely for leading this campaign.
Can we get a clap for their responses? Thank you all so much for giving us the time and answering our questions.
Thank you so much, Bethany, and thank you to Cam, Nancy, and Jay. Thanks so much. Well, we are talking about school meals, and I think we're standing between you and the start of your school lunch. So I'm going to wrap up shortly. I do want to just thank again our super supporters of this event. Just as a reminder, it is the New Orleans Super Bowl Host Committee with Entergy, Frito-Lay, Quaker, PepsiCo Foundation, Amazon Access, Domino's, Dairy Max. How many of you know the state beverage of Louisiana? Any guesses? It's up here on your school, it's part of your school meal. Milk, right? So we want to give special thanks to the Louisiana dairy farmers and Dairy Max, as well as Pennington Biomedical Research Center, who's providing the Grow Healthy kits, the nutrition education that Nancy talked about as being so important. So with that, I would like to encourage you all to be your best self. School meals will help you to do that. I hope you have a great rest of this semester, and as we start January, the excitement for the Super Bowl will grow even stronger. I would like to invite the sponsors of today's event to stick around, and some of the students, you know who you are, that are cleared for photos, to please join me up front, and we will do that. But thanks again. This will conclude the event. You're welcome to go back to your class or lunch, whichever comes first. But join me in thanking our sponsors, and here's for school meals.